Hello, welcome to this Saturday's AgostoAllElite Podcast. On today's episode, me and Bernard are going to cover Whatever Discovery, doing the right thing, allowing Mark Briscoe to appear on AEW TV. WWE has reportedly pitched Roman Reigns match with Steve Austin. WWE made changes to a planned segment for Raw 30th anniversary, and much more on AgostoAllElite Podcast. So stick around. Hello, before we do the recaps, I want to get this out of the way. Bernard is out. He won't be a part of this. I don't know what happened. Bernard's not going to be here for the foreseeable future. I will figure what's going on. So right now, let's start with the recaps. Okay, let's start with Raw. Alright, let's start with the trial of Sami Zayn. So Raw 30th anniversary opened with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart. They're coming out to give a brief introduction to the event. They were only on stage for a couple of minutes. It barely ate into the show at all, honestly. Then we got the same recap video featuring highlights of the past 30 years of the show. And once we get back in the arena, the Bloodlines music hit and everyone came out to the stage. This brought us to the trial of Sami Zayn. Paul Heyman addressed some ECW chants before the proceedings got started. The wise man ripped into Zayn, and he started claiming he has been in the league with Kevin Owens from the start. He even showed some clips to prove his point. He had tried to paint a picture of a man who wants to subplot Reigns at the head of the table. Basically, Zayn wants to castrate Roman, cut his nuts off, something like that. And when it was Zayn's turn to speak, he said it was hurting that this was even happening and everything he had done for the family. Then we got Reigns told Sikoa to take him out. He was gonna hit that Samoa Spike, the Samoa Spike. Then Jimmy Uso jumped in and then tried to play his own video to help Zayn's case. Then Reigns declared Zayn was not guilty for now. He still seemed upset, but told the honorary Uso to show up the wrong Rumble for his final test. So yeah. So segments like this are what make WWE different. This was so well done. It kept the crowd invested the whole time without anyone throwing a single punch. This segment was the best way to start this show. Sports entertainment, pro wrestling may be synonymous with some, but things like this make them a little different. This was pure sports entertainment in my book, honestly. So, yeah, thoughts about the Zayn trial. It was basically more Zayn being accused of helping Kevin Owens. But Jay Uso came to save the day. So, all in all, it ends all, Alright, let's go to the Usos versus the Judgment Day Raw Tag Titles. So, we were right from the trial of Zayn. Yes, that's true. Into the Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Judgment Day and the Usos. Since the only one set the belts were on the line, a lot of people predicted a title change leading to this bout. We got Damian Priest, Uso starting for the teams. They wasted no time getting physical. Jimmy took control first. His rivals able to turn the tables quickly when the fight started spilling out of the ring. Then we had Raw had the first hour commercial free. This had no interruptions. It was always more durable to follow a fight without having to break in the middle. After that was it was an enjoyable counter, Neither team dominated the matches, so it felt like one of the Usos' more competitive title defenses in recent months. However, Jimmy appeared to hurt his leg in the middle of the match and was held to the back by the officials. So Adam Pearce said that he can't continue, that we'll have to forfeit the match. Then the title suggested that he takes Jimmy's place. And basically, Pierce allowed it since he did the same thing for the Judgment Day in the tag team tournament match. He and Jay ran to the ring and began beating on the Priest Dom at the few near falls from both teams. Sami Zayn and Jay hit the 1D for the win. This was an outstanding match. Also fed into the larger story at hand. Everything was done just about perfect. And the first hour Raw was devoted to Zayn. It was the right call. So, yeah, the Usos won. They retained the belts. Zayn helped, but this was dedicated to Zayn, and I like his character work. People say Zayn should win the Royal Rumble. No, he's not the guy. Cody should win, but neither should win the Rumble. Honestly, they want the Rock match, they should go for it, I think The Rock's going to come to the Rumble tonight, I think, but let's just see anyway. Honestly. Okay, we got Bayley versus Becky Lynch, the steel cage. Before that, we got LA Knight coming out to talk about his upcoming match with Bray Wyatt. It was interrupted by the Undertaker's music for return to American Badass theme. Knight tried to leave, but Wyatt blocked his path while holding a lantern and music began to play. Grabbed him by the throat. Taker grabbed him by the throat. Wyatt stared the dead man down until Taker tossed Knight to him so he hit the Sister Abigail. He whispered something to Wyatt before leaving. So this dead man segment, Wyatt was pretty good. It's like a passing the torch at some moments. Honestly, yeah, passing the torch. As we talked about next, the next match saw Bayley battle Lynch inside a steel cage. It was short because they didn't cut time. So Dash Critical around first show cut the break. Dakota Kai Io Sky attacked the man before she could get into the stretcher, getting the role model advantage for the contest. All three women basically were locked Lynch in the cage. Triple teamer until Pierce came out and cut the lock with bolt cutters. So the match ended, honestly, not happening. It upset the crowd a lot. Honestly, this should have been the main event. This was the first women's steel cage match. It should have been a nice symmetry to put this one in the same spot. Then honestly, this was done. If it was done, it should have been received even worth it. Even if it was the main event, honestly, yeah. Anyway, Street Profits and Seth Rollins versus the Imperium. Diaz Kurt came out for the segment before. They were joined by Imperium. Kurt Angle's substitute for Billy Gunn. You know why. Gunther redid a right act by honoring the match. Said the legendary group had to leave unless someone wants something about it. Nobody Diaz had felt the challenge, but Seth Rollins answered the call. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, then they came out to join his team, make this a 6-man tag match. The Visionary and the Giovanni Vinci are the teams. This ended up being fun for a relatively tame 6-man tag match. Everyone had their chance to get in. It worked for a couple of minutes. The main showdown between Rollins and Gunther. The action was definitely picked up at the commercial break. Saw some big dives, few cool double team spots. Rollins got the winner of stomp to Vinci. So it was Rollins and Street Profits won. This was a pretty great matchup, honestly. It has something you want, something you need. Alright, we got a short matchup at Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville. Charlotte Flair came out in introduction from her father Rick. She was interrupted by Bianca Belair, later by Sonya Deville, led to Deville and Bianca Belair at a singles match, The match started after break, and SWA took control right away. She talked to Deville for the former MMA fighter was able to turn the tables. She had the upper hand for the next few minutes, but the Raw Women's Champion was able to grab her for the KOD to get the win. Most of this bout took place during the commercial break, so we missed a lot of action. It was fine for what it was, but nothing too memorable. So yeah. So basically, Bianca Belair won. Yeah, it was basically like that. The match was, how should I put it? It was pretty much, it was boring. No one cares about that match. Alright, we got the Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley, U.S. title. After a little quick segment with The Miz, Kevin Owens, Austin Theory made his way out for the main event to battle Lashley for the United States Championship. So early in the night, MVP approached the Almighty again, trying to restart the business relationship. So the possible MVP or Moss show up looming and over the bout. Lashley pushed Theory to the corner, immediately started dominating after him. The ref started the match. He looked like he was going easy road back to the title at first. Eventually, the champion was able to turn things in his favor by using his signature to spray Lashley in the face. As the show winding down, Brock Lesnar arrived and came to the ring right after Almighty put Theory to the table. So yeah, the Beast Incarnate hit Lashley at 5 that grabbed Theory to do the same thing, but he dropped on time and Almighty to get the cover and win. This was a decent match. It was predictable how everything would go down. The crowd popped for Lesnar, so it was interesting to see the WWE Universe sides with an eventual rematch. Austin Theory won the main event, so yeah. I want to go further. Yeah, the Lashley Brock Lesnar, they're gonna do it again at WrestleMania. I see this happening. But basically, in my book, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it would matter if it happens. Like, it would matter if it happens, but anyway, I don't know. Maybe if you get nothing, like if you think about it, like maybe something to it. But anyway, it's what it is. So yeah, all right. Here comes the Dynamite recap. Let's go to it. Match cards. We got the main event memorial match. Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal. They do it for Jay Briscoe. This is a memorial episode for Jay Briscoe. The TNT Championship match. Darby Allin versus Buddy Matthews. Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage. Acha Andrade and Ricky Starks versus Jericho Guevara. Ruby Riott versus Toni Storm. Jungle Hook versus All Ego Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. We got the Family Therapy featuring the Guns and Acclaim. Jericho Guevara versus Ricky Starks and Andrade. Yeah, basically I was saying the same thing. Let's start with them. The Jericho Appreciation Society looked to stop the Preventative Bleeding Nights opening contest at Jericho Guevara battle Pesky Acha Andrade, Absolute Ricky Starks, and Nights opening tag team contest. So it was ended with Kenny Garcia's perfect timing interference to help the heels score to take the victory. A solid opener with a great action for participants, including a manner that made sense. Jericho shoved Garcia to a supporting role, forcing him to learn underneath Guevara. Chas for losing to Andrade at Rampage, and Mr. Garcia, who's a difference maker. He rocked Andrade with Floyd, the baseball bat, lowered the Spanish guy to pick up the fall. So honestly, the win broke the heels' losing streak while protecting the red hot Starks. Easily the most over guy to the show. He's a star. It's about that. Honestly, it's a bad time. He's treated like one. So kudos to Andrade, who does not have fractured experience. The guys were in the ring, but rarely appear overwhelmed out of place. So Jericho Guevara got the win over Andrade and Starks. So yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm gonna go further with this. Like, is Andrade a future star? Yes, he's definitely a future star. I see that in the making. But right now, Ricky Starks is red hot. He needs to be capitalized, and definitely needs to be capitalized. And it's the same thing. TNT Championship match: Darby Allin versus Buddy Matthews, making the 4th title defense of the TNT Championship. And in many weeks, Darby squared off with House of Black's Buddy Matthews, following a chaotic brawl involving Sting, Malachi Black, Brody King Ortiz. The champion challenger stands similar to a damn good back and forth matchup. Matthews scores several near falls, exploiting the exhausted jet lag Allen experience following a flight back from Japan, but could not keep the champ down. Allen scored the win off the cover drop, but was immediately threatened by Samoa Joe who promised that winning the TNT title was the biggest stake of his career. Basically his whole career. Darby has his whole career, so the anti-hero's life. Something like that, say. So, here's my thing. Allen's developed into one of those constants when it's constantly greater ring output. Not everyone like his style, but there's no denying quality of work. He has mastered the formula for effective big versus little matchup and showed it here. This is the first real opportunity we get to see Matthews perform in a singles match setting. Excellent. This was a throwback to the Cruiserweight Championship match we had back in WWE when he immediately steals shows with Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and others. So, and honestly, the post-match promo from Joe suggests the feud with Al is not over. Given the fact we saw the particular pairing work consistent to the matches against each other back at Turn of Cauldron, it's probably the one we don't need to go back so soon. So, yeah. But prior to that match, there was a fantastic video package paying tribute to the late Jay Briscoe, a tough and emotional witch for sure. Honestly, it's for sure a tough watch. Now we go to Jungle Hook versus Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. Sudden unemployment of the firm after a loss. Some makes it go back. Matt Hardy partnered with All Ego, Ethan Page to battle Hook. Jungle Hook, a team of FTW champion Hook and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Page's monically proved Empress and was the eagle that cost Hardy the victory despite his partner being in a position to bring him home the win. Hardy tried to participate on Perry, but Page called him out, trying to win himself, and wind up taking the clutches of the snare trap instead. This was a fun match. The team of Hook and Perry had a lot of fun. One cannot help but think this is a waste of both guys. Hook has an aura, him as a no-nonsense ass kicker, shoving in tag team nonsense. nonsense that negates that Perry Casteri got out of the long-term tag match. Should highlight a singles competitor. Again, Jungle Hook defeated Hardy and Page. In a pre-tape segment, the Acclaimed, the Guns, and Billy Gunn got together for some family therapy. It was rather bland segment that did nothing to forward the feud, made little use of the domestic tag champs. So yeah. Anyway, elsewhere, we got Renee Paquette interviewing Hangman Page to express a desire to knock her husband Jon Moxley out in Dayton next week. Wheeler Yuta erupted in a match between him and Page was made for Friday's Rampage. Honestly, Bryan Danielson versus the Machine Brian Cage. Let's go to that. So a week ago, MJF paid Brian Cage to break Bryan Danielson's arm Wednesday night. The Machine set out to do just that, squared off with the American Dragon. He may have not succeeded, but it was not for lack of trying. The big man targeted Danielson's left arm with the offense, working him through the break, maintaining control to a spiritual comeback by the babyface by superplex. The action testified down the stretch. The alert, Danielson scored a roll-up and stacked Cage up for the win. After the match, the Machine beat Danielson down for a MJF march to the ring, grabbed a steel chair. Cage wrapped the weapon around Danielson's arm shoulder and sent him to the steel post. Before much more damage could be done, Konosuke Takahashi saved the saves and the world champion scurried for fending up Cage. Not only give this Danielson an injury to overcome, he wants to win the world title, but also set the stage for Takahashi MJF showdown. And it's pretty damn exciting, honestly. The Takahashi MJF issues began with later insulting promo on the young Japanese competitor and continue on here. Rather than allowing their previous interaction to doorway meaningless one, Tony Khan has positioned Takahashi as someone to watch as a potential MJF opponent. If there's any negative, is that Will Utah's Danielson's teammate in the Black Belt Combat Club as Claudio Castagnoli, but neither came to the aid of their friend. So what it means for their faction remains to be seen. It is difficult to find fault with the inclusion of Takahashi as an ally, potential president of Danielson. So honestly, after the match, it was a ton of fun. It showed a lot of talents of the underutilized Cage. So that's a given. Alright, you go straight to the Tony Storm versus Ruby Soho. A week after joining Serena to beat down Willow Nightingale, Tony Storm battled the woman who came to her opponent's aid, Ruby Soho. Storm dominated the action when it appeared that the tattoo babyface would mount a comeback. She faked the injury, allowed her to lure Soho into a trap. She looked up Sword Zero, but Britt Baker originally scheduled for the match to be removed because of the injury, provided distraction, and Soho capitalized on it, winning with Destination Unknown. The idea of coming women versus AEW Originals is a appealing one. Thus far, it's perfectly played out. Perfectly. Yes, the heel turn for Storm Soraya was something rough. It was in line with how fans were reacting. Rather than resisting, Khan made the call to go in that direction, and it saves the competitors themselves from frustration of unintended fan reaction. So, Soho's promo for the match did a nice job establishing her motivations, but it may need to be more made a heel turn teaser, a reminder from Baker that she came from the same place as Soraya Storm. There are enough moving pieces and story threads to do something fun special with this storyline. So Soho and Storm had a solid match, really physical stuff in the ladder. It would be great to see what they could do on the pay-per-view without the interruption of commercial break. So yeah, Soho defeated Storm, and it was pretty much. Now we go to the main event, the tribute show match, Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal. So, pro wrestling is what it's always been. Its best when it's mostly real. It was nothing more real than the main event on Wednesday Dynamite, and match in honor of late great Jay Briscoe. Brother Mark wearing off for his friend Jay Lethal. Promotion is a high. Two of co-stars Ring of Honor paid homage to the most influential, beloved wrestlers at the time. The match was great. The crowd was appreciative with it, but enough can I set up Briscoe what it accomplished here. 8 days after the devastation, the timing of his brother, a man who shared both his personal and professional life with him, only set the foot in the circle, but delivered a special showing against a guy in Lethal who was very emotional from the get-go. So the mental toughness and the part of this man, probably through all the heartbreak, sadness, doing what they did on professional wrestling, telecast that they show awe-inspiring. The play-by-play such a match is confidential, but the Briscoe won in the most fitting way imaginable. His brother's famed Jay Driller, So concerning one so great, it feels vague to shallow, but for the sake of recap, it earns my little Monty, If you're not emotionally spent watching Briscoe Lethal giving their name all in the name of a man they love, whose legacies are intrinsically tied to certainly were at the locker room and beyond to the stage on RJ. We have Mark standing out tall, the RH Women's World Tag Team Champion belts he and Butters held for 313 occasions, held overhead. Most fitting conclusion to the night, one of the most rarest moments, most stand to the test of time. This was a banner night for AEW. Tony Khan and his team, every wrestler who filled that screen in the closing moments of the broadcast should be proud of themselves, but most of all, Mark should forever carry on the brother's legacy in most difficult of times. So, Mark Briscoe defeated Lethal. So, the post-match, we saw brace opponents excluding the respect not for each other, but for Jay and everything the three of them have been through as the pillars of ROH. So, yeah, this was Dynamite Recap. That was a great show, a great tribute to Jay Briscoe. I got chef's kisses. So, yeah. Okay, we got SmackDown recap. Let's do that. Let's go there. The match card is Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa, Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross, the Tag Team Championship Tour semifinals, the Tag Team Championship semifinals. So, yeah, let's start with Rey Mysterio versus Karrion Kross. Prior to the match, during the Bloodline arrival to the arena, Sami Zayn thanked Jey Uso for having his back Monday and vowed to have him moving forward. This despite being ordered by Roman Reigns not to be in the building tonight. An overconfident Karrion Kross learned the hallway Friday night that unsuspectingly the legendary Rey Mysterio will not end favorably. Despite the dominating future first ballot Hall of Famer with size, strength, advantage, and withstand his trademark with 619 finisher, Kross allowed his ego to Uman as Mysterio counter a power slam attempt to a crucifix roll up for the win. The match was on the short side with most of it taking place during the break. It was solid enough. Mysterio winning feels like it needs to propel the feud onward. But one has to wonder, when are we going to see the creative booking decisions reflect Triple H's belief in Kross? So thus far, he's been fairly consistent involved in significant programs, but yet to develop win anything. This is not helping that perception, unfortunately, and the question becomes whether the eventual win come too late to win the audience over. However, that's not the case because he is potentially a top-tier hero or on Raw or SmackDown. He just needs a steady career behind him to go along with his presence and unique presentation. So, yeah. Yeah. Then we got the parade of interruptions. The USA Champion Austin Theory hit the ring to cut a promo on Saturday's Royal Rumble match bound to win a headline WrestleMania. The New Day interrupted, followed by the Miz, ultimately Bobby Lashley. The Almighty made quick work everyone before cutting his promo, calling out Lesnar after the Monday's attack. The Beast leaped over the guardrail, attacked Lashley, drowned at 5, revealed he would compete at honoring his namesake. Bout is not necessary. A surprise Lesnar will appear in Royal Rumble match. In fact, he was normally featured on the pastor of A1. It does enhance the match star power, actually provides a platform for him and Lashley to advance that feud. So yeah. And then we got a little Lacey Evans versus Jasmine Allure. Lacey Evans once again created herself. It provides a direction to dedication to back to basics character design that fit her better than those last couple of iterations. Like Evans dominated competition and ultimately tapped Allure out to the Cobra Clutch for cutting a generic kill promo when she vowed to win the Royal Rumble. So there was nothing really wrong here, but just nothing that leads to the screen. The main viewers think, I can't wait to see where Evans goes next. This is not her fault. She's been damaged by inconsistent booking and it's time to shoehorn her into different gimmicks. Nothing has worked, as well as the sassy Sutter Bell character for damage proves irreparable. So it may be in the best interest to return to that gimmick. So honestly, yeah, Lacey Evans is like a damaged goods. She like damaged goods. She's a blonde, but damaged goods. Yeah. Alright, go to the semifinals of the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contendership. Prior to the scheduled Tag Team Championship Contendership match against Backstage Shades Road, the Vikings Raiders, Eric and Viber attacked the men that eliminated them last week, leading the Scottish Irish Babyface's line and status about doubt. So Adam Pearce revealed that the McIntyre Shades are out their place on Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Actually, the Adonis and Ricochet did most of the heavy lifting, provided the majority of the ring work before a hot tag Strowman part to come back. Culminating in a monster among monsters, securing the win with a monster bomb. The idea that McIntyre Shams gave up their spot tournament is ridiculous. It insulted the tournament itself. Nothing else because just that the tag titles are secondary to getting revenge on Erica and Ivar. So it's such, honestly, it such negates everything the competition is about. Maybe it was not intention, perhaps Pierce loved the explanation. It was not great at all, in my opinion. Sherman and Ricochet feeling at least it makes sense given the history hit roll, but again, why the team that never returned to start without entering the semifinals is dumbfounded. Given the other two teams are on the side of the bracket, the finals is likely a badass, but it should not exist in the first place. So thankfully the match we got was at least solid enough. Alright. So this is LA Knight talking to us. So LA Knight mocked the original incarnation of Bray Wyatt character, complete with straight hat, Hawaiian shirt, for cutting a promo on his Mountain Dew pitch black match opponent. Wyatt erupted as the time for TakeOver was over and rapping with an honest line about lights going out. Uncle Howdy appeared in the skybox to wrap out the segment. This added little to the build to Saturday's match, but it did one thing to that effect, that reiterating that Knight is an absolute star. It should not be his stature on WWE program that ending with what will likely be lost to Wyatt Royal Rumble. Given all these things eventually do, so eventually the microphone's involved because he's the guy can't get anything over. Anyone who's seen his work dating back to Drake knows that much. Wyatt is a star in his own right. We more than okay, and once this program comes to an end, Knight though has really jumped to the screen on, should earn himself an exposure as a result. So yeah. And then we go to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship semifinal, another one. Leo Del Sol, Fantasma Cruz, Del Toro, and King Wild battled Imperium's Divine Vance and Ludwig Kaiser in the semifinals of the tournament. Like the duo dominated throughout the commercial, focusing on attack on Wild. The hot tag Del Toro allowed Diego Del Fantasma Gorilla Press Slam and Vinci on top rope. Imperium Bomb earned the former NXT Tag Champions the hard-fought victory. This was a vastly superior match. I understand, found great action, all that. Del Toro in particular really shined late. Had a crowd behind, hard to decide their status and villains. Imperium winning was fine, but instead of a match with Strowman and Ricochet has been overdone in recent months, including a Miracle on 34th Street fight should have ended over holidays. The WWE officials should examine the idea of Lego that Fantasma being the babyfaces moving forward and nothing else. This was great here. The idea of Vega as a babyface retaining the same attitude would be a chicken. They succeed in the role in the late NXT run, so we know it's not a tall task. Let them run on the side of the roster against Viking Raiders, Imperium, Los Lados, and others will result some great lingering work, while Santos Escobar could thrive too. So now we go to the matchup. Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa with the Usos bar for the arena following a backstage confrontation. The Bloodline forces Solo Sikoa forced to go alone and looked to dismantle Kevin Owens as ahead of the Prize Riders Undisputed Championship match in the Royal Rumble. So we thought. Later in the match, Sikoa appeared near defeat. Some say holding up. The Godram made the save, pinning the center and arranged the floor. His ward, a reciprocate from the big man, quickly focused the attack of Owens. The number one contender fought back, delivered a powerbomb on the combat table and sent to the crowds. Owens still telling about looking at the camera, cutting promo on his Royal Rumble opponent, spurring his name for further punishment. Raised the question: where does his honor rate stand? This was a good match, physical fight. Owens conserved a ton. Lawrence Cola show up. By the time Zayn and Reigns came in the match from the angle, it accomplished everything. It helped to prove that Owens' toughness. Left fans question where was Zayn's allegiance lie. Are there to Owens or the Bloodline? So maybe it's more complicated than that. Zayn's allegiance would lie only with Jay at the point at the events of Monday night. The fact there are different possibilities enter Saturday shows it as the tree to the cold test beside it. Otherwise, we're going to conclusion. So one thing's for sure, the more Sikoa gets to work with guys like Owens, the better he is, better in the long run, most likely to succeed in every role he finds himself in. So yeah, SmackDown was pretty okay for a show, but we don't know why, so it's what it is. So let's go to Rampage and recap. Adam Page versus Wheeler Yuta. The bell rang. Yuta exploded out of the quarter drop kick to Page off his feet from the moment the fight was on. What followed was a highly physical battle between two young guys who were both the side top of the games. Page had the small size advantage, but not enough to make a huge difference. This is part of his man evenly match. Neither competitor would control more than a minute or two. Even though just a single standard spout, as they were fighting for the title on the line. Even though champions lost non-title matches in the right deal, no one was surprised when Hangman scored the win. He just defeated Jon Moxley recently, so it would have been a weird booking decision to have him lose at least a member of the BCC. So using Moxley owned Paragon's shift to score the win with a nice touch to end the match to keep the feud between Moxley and Hangman going. So yeah. Yeah. So now we got the best friend that has versus Lethal, Jarrett and Singh. The second match of the night was a trios bout with Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Don Hansen taking on Lethal, Jarrett and Singh. Don Hansen, best friend, got to do some comedy spots for Singh. Single-handedly turned the moment in the team's favor. The big man was doing the usual giant routines, no selling almost everything, but considering the giant difference between his opponents, it was appropriate. The match had a handful of great moments. As a whole, somewhat forgettable. It was designed to steal the show. It was all he needed to do was give Jarrett Lethal Singh a victory, and just did that. Singh ended up scoring the pin for his team over Don Hansen after Double J used the Golden Globe from his stolen from Paul Walter Hauser to hit him behind the ref's back. So yeah, this was pretty much a dull matchup, but it was necessary to continue on with the show, and somewhere. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Tony Mudd. Hobbs made his return to the ring this week against a man by the name of Tony Mudd. He beat his opponent around before hitting a Torture Rex slam for the easy win. This was simple, but was high design. If a squash match should be included, this is the way to do it. Doesn't mean to be good, it was to be effective. Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, but there was also before promos building up, but anyway, yeah. So, Jamie Hayter versus Emi Sakura. Let's go to the main event. The AEW Women's Championship was the main event of the week's show when Hayter battled Sakura in a non-title bout. Sakura has never been booked on AEW television on a consistent basis, but she has appeared many times on Dark and Elevation. She has a long history in Japan, well respected in this business. If anyone wondering why she gets so much match with the champ, because she has earned it. Hayter tried to establish some dominance early on with the show power, but Sakura was not able to go about without a fight. She got right back on her feet and took a champ out of the ring. The match had a great pace and allowed both women to look like tough competitors. This was a lot of fun. Definitely made Sakura look better than she was in the AEW ring. The champ was able to overcome some of her opponent's biggest moves for hitting the Hayter raid for the win. So honestly, the main event Rampage for a women's match was pretty good. It was so impressive. It was pretty nice, It had a big boost, so basically it was getting good. It had a great main event, so Rampage was okay. It was a good main event, good paper, good show. So yeah, it's basically like that. Now we go to the news. Let's get to the news anyway. All right, let's get to the news. Sorry, I'm a little confused right now. All right, Okay, alright, Warner Bros. Discovery reportedly will file Mark Briscoe to appear on AEW TV. So, apparently before then, the band was firm on Jay Briscoe way before. They were very firm before. Like, it was a lot of talk about the hypocrisy with Dan White's power slap, WBD involvement, The tragic part is Jay Briscoe's passing, Warner Bros. Didn't care, but eventually they conceded and realized it was a bad look, so they allowed Mark Briscoe to wrestle with Jay Lethal this week. So a victory for Warner Brothers. But there's more to come to talk about this. I will talk about it. But right now, let's go back to another news. WWE reportedly pitched Roman Reigns' match to Stone Cold Steve Austin. WWE apparently made Stone Cold a huge offer to wrestle Roman Reigns. Stone Cold Steve Austin made his in-ring return nearly 20 years into last year's WrestleMania, where he faced Kevin Owens in the main event in 91. The match was great timing, positively received by basically all fans. Many wanted to see him back again. As we get closer and closer to WrestleMania season, talks and rumors of a possible Stone Cold match have begun to circulate with fans booking opponents for one of the biggest stars in WWE. So, in the new update for Fight for Select, they were reporting WWE very quietly made an enormous money offer to Steve Austin for a major match with Roman Reigns recently. So, the Fight for Select learned that the pitch was made internally for a huge opponent for Steve Austin, which Fight for Select told Roman Reigns to at least Austin can't approach the possibility of happening, who says for a modest amount of money. Whether or not Stone will accept the offer stays to be seen, but judging on last year's WrestleMania performance and how huge of an icon he is, he would be a great addition to any show if he's around. So honestly, yeah, that'd be a good way. Here's another one. WWE reportedly made changes to this week's Monday segment for Raw 30th. We saw this week Monday celebrated 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. We had multiple legends appearing across the show. Some of the names that got planned with Hogan, DiBiase, Flair, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, among the others. Then PW Insider provided a major update. There were going to be plans of Alpha, Sinka, Rikishi, Samu. There was a follow-up that there were plans changed that led to the trial of Sami Zayn. So it was dropped because apparently Rikishi had injuries. Some were going to make it, so they had to do the trial of Sami Zayn. So, honestly, it's not that bad. So, what it is, it happened. It is. Alright, Thunder Rosa reveals to be back on AEW TV. Is it a ring return yet? So, Miss Rosa absent from TV since silent injury back in August as of last year. So, as a result of the injury, AEW introduced an interim AEW Women's title. Title eventually become the Undisputed title once they confirmed Rosa will be out of action longer than the company initially expected. So, appearing on a recent episode of Busted Open Radio, Rosa revealed that while it's currently unknown that she'll be returning to the ring, it is unexpected to be back on the road AEW relatively soon. Since we're about AEW, I'm going to come back on the road soon. Not the rest of it going out at AEW, showing face, be around stuff. It's nice around everyone, see how its plans unfold. And so this week's episode, Dynamite saw Tony Storm's returning heel on Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho starting a potential homegrown versus ex-WWE feud. Thus, Rosa could potentially play a part of the AEW side of things. As we always, we wish Thunder Rosa all the best with her recovery from injury. We'll aim to provide any updates as we hear more. They hear more, or Visa issues are reportedly behind Kenny Omega's recent absence from television this week. So, this past Wednesday's episode of Dynamite saw Briscoe defeat Jay Lethal in the main event in a match honoring the legacy of late Jay Briscoe. After the match, the AEW locker room emptied out to play their respects to Briscoe, although one noticeable asset was the AEW EVP Kenny Omega. Fight for Select provided an update on the reason behind Omega's absence, reporting the IWGP US Champion is currently dealing with visa issues and thus couldn't make the show. We were told Kenny Omega wanted to be there, but has been battling visa issues. FTR has been scheduled to be backstage at the show. Then Meltzer provided further clarification on Omega's situation, knowing that he wants to be there to honor his friend, was unable to. So, Omega is expected to be available next week. Dynamite, those in writing that's been confirmed. So, yeah. So, Omega is out because of visa issues. He'll be back next week. So, I see him coming home, return television as soon as possible. So, now, WWE reportedly ditched the Banger Bros name after finding out about Bang Bros. So, Sheamus and McIntyre were very vivid and entire time in WWE recent months. The pair has been classic matches together, rivals, put their differences aside, team up. Particularly, Sheamus had a career renaissance of late, often saying he has a banger after banger. Matches what led to the Irishman team and McIntyre being labeled the Banger Bros. Although understandably this caused quite a stir online, a large portion of the Porsche fans and those similar to TNT and adult website began to joke that McIntyre, Sheamus, and leaned on Twitter. Hilariously, the company were not aware, they've written WrestleZerver, WWE dropped the tag team name upon finding out about the system namesake. So they did drop the name it was named after a portal company, so it's what it is. But honestly, I don't know what that means. So, yeah. So, it's maybe joke is funny, but it's some movies disappointing. Name doesn't exist, but as for the pair advanced in the tag tournament, they were beaten down by the Viking Raiders. Yeah, they're out, so they're going to be here for the tournament. So yeah, And we got an MLW reporter sent a deceased wrestler to WWE. So the past Monday, we saw a extra legislation. So apparently this letter was about what MLW got upset with stars were going to contact to come to the 30th anniversary. It was basically a cease and desist order by Court Bauer, Honestly, it was like something the WWE star was supposed to come, but it was a cease and desist letter. So, honestly, it's what we do and how we was, honestly, yeah. Wardlow poorly off TV, AEW TV due to injury issue. Wardlow is off AEW TV since summer 28, newest edition of Dynamite last year. He was unsuccessful attempt to win back the title. It was clear to work to the match, and Wardlow suffered a leg injury. Samoa Joe attacked Wardlow post-match, cut off his part of his hair. Now, Zerber cleared the injury. Wardlow's selling the December main event was more real than stated. Belzer stated that Wardlow was written off TV so he could recover from his injury, while suggesting that it's too serious. When Wardlow's in the match, Joe attacked out the light. The reason he's been back for revenge dropping the titles due to injury issue. Stuff with Joe was done to set up his takeoff time off. The injury is not believed to be one that will keep him out of action. So as of writing, how long is certified we out of action more? So the injury keeping him reign thus 3 weeks thus far. We wish Wardlow a speedy recovery. And yeah, only Wardlow had an injury. It was about to happen. So wrestling is wrestling. So you gotta be careful what you do. Wrestling is wrestling, and wrestling, you have wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling is what it is. So yeah, this is AgostoAllElite Podcast this week. I'll see you next Saturday. With or run out, Bernard. We don't know yet, so I'll tell you updates when I get there Saturday. So, bye.